But you know, what is what is it that I really need? You know, and when I bring something onto the houseboat, I have to take something else off of it. So I can't bring anything else onto it because there's not room for anything else, right? And so it's really interesting to move with that kind of energy, and it's important to look at what is it that I really want here, what is it that I really need, and how can I have the stability from what already exists in my life. Would I be happy with what already exists in my life? And how can I empower myself, and how can I empower the people around me to create a sustainable livelihood from what I already have? What I already have has all of the makings and is the fabric of everything. You're a grown-up, you guys. We're grown-ups. This is something I tell people all the time. I'm like, you are a grown-up. You can do anything you want. Anything. The world is your oyster. You can do anything. You can have anything. You can go anywhere. Anything that you want, you can do. And remember, like, all those years we were waiting to be a grown-up? Right? Like, oh, God, when I grow up, I'm going to blah, 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 and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. Well, what were those things? You know, when I grow up, I'm going to, what was it for you? You know, especially from the ages, between the ages of 6 and 12. Because between the ages of 6 and 12 really shows us our life dream and our life purpose. So what were the things that I dreamed of doing, or that I said, oh, I'm going to do this when I grow up? Not the things that we said to please the people that were asking us what we wanted to be when we grow up. I don't ask my nieces and nephews what they want to be when they grow up. I ask them, what do you want to do now? Right? And that's how it used to be. That's how it used to be. We used to watch our children. In Africa, in some tribes, they name children only after a year of watching them. Because only then will they know what their true dream and destiny is. And they always name their children their destiny. Okay, their dream, their life dream. And so what we used to do is we used to watch our children, see what their gifts and their talents were, and then send them to the person in the village or in the tribe who had that gift and talent and had experience with it. So, wow, my son is really good at working with leather. It's amazing. He works with this leather and he makes amazing things out of it, and oh my goodness, and he's like putting it all over his body. Well, it looks to me like I need to take him to the tailor or the cobbler, and he will apprentice. Then he will apprentice with that person who has all those years of experience. And that apprenticeship has several things happening within it. It has intimacy, the care and love of another human being, probably some degree of protectiveness, wanting to protect that person and wanting to assist them in their career or in the continuation of doing what they're doing, right? There's also a long-term relationship and someone who always has that person's back, right? And so what used to happen is we would notice the person's gifts and talents, take them to the person who could help them, and then if there was more than one interest, like say, growing your own food, they could be a tailor and grow their own food at the same time, right? Or you have people who have certain gifts and talents, like there are some artists, like Dr. Seuss. I think Dr. doing his work much, much later in life. I don't know how much older he was, like maybe in his 70s, I think, when he started really doing the rhymes and the children's work. So we all have more than one livelihood inside of us, more than one thing that makes us lively. But there are some things we receive currency for, and there are other things that we don't necessarily receive currency for. And there are things we receive currency for that are a surprise to us, and there's things that we don't receive currency for that are a surprise to us. Like, hey, I thought I'd be doing better by now with this whole thing, you know? When really, it's a matter of, what is my guidance telling me that I need to do next? I have a whole guidance system that has been trying to help me and talk with me, and I keep saying, I'll do that later. That's such a great idea, but I think I'm going to wait just a little bit longer. Now there's two circumstances. Angela Sarian, my mentor and teacher, used to say that there are two circumstances under which we will change. Those two circumstances are, we cannot take it anymore. We have fucking had it. We're up to here, and we are done. Okay? And she didn't say it like that. She was very reserved. Angela was always very reserved and sweet, and yeah, took up. She tiny, big spirit, tiny body, and if we are truly called. If we are truly called. So either I can't take it anymore, I've had it up to here, I'm not going to tolerate this bullshit for another 5 seconds, right? Fuck this. Right? And I'm being called. Now, sometimes the issue is that we're being called, and every time we think of it, we feel happy and a sense of livelihood, and we feel happiness inside, and like, oh my goodness, there's a real sense of value and fulfillment, and we feel all of that, and instead we go, well, I have to, do this, or I have to do that, and so then what we'll do is we'll go into the patterns of overextension, and when we go into the patterns of overextension, then we have the great excuse for why we're not doing what we're really called to do. Now things will call and call and call and call, and then they're going to start getting a little, stern is a good word, right? They're going to become a little more stern. And then what happens is, some people would call it a soul siren. The soul, there's an agony, there's a yearning that is so profound that it's unthinkable to not stop, turn, and do what it is that we really want to do. Because the pain is profound. Okay? Regret is something that we feel when we don't listen to those callings. And I am unwilling, 100% unwilling to live a life of regret. And I will answer those callings. And let me tell you, what is it, courage? I saw this is a bumper sticker of great wisdom. And how bumper stickers carry such great wisdom sometimes is just amazing to me. But courage is the ability to speak the truth even when your voice is shaking. Courage is the ability to speak the truth even when your voice is shaking. And so we can go into something new and we feel vulnerable and we feel innocent, but we can still do it. And no matter what my age, I want to be learning new things, right? I want to be going into places where I don't know anything and where I get to experience that innocence and that childlike wonder of learning something that I don't know. It's such a wonderful experience. And so empowerment doesn't mean that I think I know everything. Empowerment means I'm going to follow this calling and I'm going to take care of myself while I'm doing it. Okay? So I knew that I've known since I was a child how much I love the mystery, how much I love the Creator, how much I just wanted to be with G-O-D, Great Spirit, 100 hours a day. And 110% of the time, always, always. It was the only thing that ever meant anything to me. Really, truly, ever meant anything to me. And so I did whatever work that I needed to do to take care of myself so that I would be able to have this relationship with the Great Mystery. so that I could be held by the great mystery and have intimacy with the spirit world, with the invisible world. And that I would be able to learn what I needed to learn so that all of the things that I valued would be a part of my life. And so what are the things that I value? What do I want to be a part of my life that is currently not a part of my life? What are the callings? Where in the last year have I been the most lively? Have I felt the most aliveness? Because the more alive that you feel, the more alive you're going to bless the world, your relationships, your children, your family, your chosen family. You'll have the capacity to bless them with that energy. It will be an overflow. Right? But you and your love and your loves are the most important thing, and your capacity to empower yourself to do the right thing for yourself. Now, since I have more than one love, it can be really interesting, right? So I have more than one beloved. You know, I have my creative life also. So I have my creative life, and then I also have the teaching life and the mentoring and mentees. I also have a family life, and right? So I have all of these other blessings in my life. But if I am not happy, and if I'm not following my calling, and if I'm not paying attention to how I can take care of myself, then those folks are not going to be very happy with me. I can't empower them from a place of disempowering myself. And I say that again. I cannot empower others from a place of disempowering myself. I'm going to say it one more time. I cannot empower others from a place of disempowering myself. So what powers me up? What gives me my current? What is my electricity? When do I feel plugged in? Okay? And I'm not saying you got to go out there on your knees, right? And you know, be in this deep devotional. You know, what is your devotion? What is it that you're devoted to? What connects you to the divine or to the mystery? And for some of us, it's writing. For some of us, it's painting. For some of us, it's the expression of on a child's face after they have enough to eat for the first time in a very long time. For some of us, it's seeing an animal free of disease for the first time in its life, right? You know, but there are things that just show us the divinity of what is real and the beauty of life. And for each of us, that's a different thing. So where does Creator show itself to you? Where you start to get a heart flutter in a good way. You know, you could call it a job crush. I have a crush on that job. I have a crush on that what that person is doing. And you know, in its shadow, it can be jealousy, right? Because jealousy really means I want what someone else has, right? And so sometimes it can show up in that form of, oh, I can't believe that she got that job. Oh my God, I can't believe that she, you know. But she's the one who applied for it. If you didn't apply for it, that kind of makes it an issue. Or if she went to school to have that job, or did the study, or did the apprenticeship, or what the fuck ever to get that job, and you've been meaning to do all of that for all these years, then hello, Houston. You know, so begin. Start anywhere and start anytime, right?